It's time for the start of the 2012 college football season. Tonight in Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss plays host to the Central Arkansas Bears in the debut of new head football coach Hugh Freeze. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Alongside Brett Norsworthy, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along as we kick off the 2012 football season. There's a lot of new around the Ole Miss athletics department. New athletic director hired this past spring. Certainly the start of a new season. And, Brett, there's a new head football coach, the most high-profile position on this campus, Hugh Freeze. In 3 years as a head coach, he's been very good. 30-7 the overall record, and certainly Ole Miss hoping to have similar results with Hugh Freeze at the helm of the program. We're going to talk about quarterbacks in just a little while, as Ole Miss is going to play two of them tonight. But first, let's talk about a couple of impact players in this ball game. Randall Mackey was a quarterback. Not anymore. He has climbed to the top of the depth chart and will be Ole Miss's starting tailback. And if you...
Second down and 3.
Big Wallace keeps it again, and he's got room. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Bo Wallace at Ole Miss scores the first points of the 2012 season, a 25-yard touchdown run for the Rebel QB. Bo Wallace takes a shot down the field. He's got a man. Touchdown, Philander Moore. And Ole Miss leads it 41-20. The anticipation builds all year long, but it hit a fever pitch this morning at Lafayette High School as students got ready for tonight's matchup with the Oxford Chargers just across town. Lafayette's pep rally this morning, Oxford's this afternoon about 2:45. The football team made its way in, hooked up with the student body and the cheerleaders, and get set for the Crosstown Classic. Lafayette Commodores about an hour ago arriving on the Oxford High School campus. As we get closer to kickoff of the Oxford Chargers playing host to the 5th-ranked Lafayette Commodores. Both teams 2-0 to start the year. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bright Lights Football on this Thursday night in Oxford, Mississippi, presented by C Spire Wireless. Alongside former Mississippi State quarterback Matt Wyatt, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along for what should be a good football game, the 42nd meeting between these two teams. They're close, Matt, and this is a good rivalry.
Also 14 on the play. Adamson wants to throw, steps up, hits a seam route. Nick Brown on the reception inside the 5-yard line. How about that answer after the big sack?
Yeah, great.
Adamson gives it to Barnes straight ahead, fights his way toward the goal line. He's dropped at the 1. So second and goal coming up for Oxford, trying to get on the board first in this game. Oxford through its first couple of games averaging 24.5 points. A win in the season opener against Grenada. Adamson to Barnes again, straight ahead into the end zone for an Oxford touchdown.
Oh, what a rivalry we've got for you tonight. It's Oak Grove and Petal. A couple of schools separated just by 17 miles. Plenty of school spirit to go around. The color of choice for Petal fans tonight, red at Panther Stadium. It's time for another edition of C Spire High School Bright Lights Football. Tonight, Petal plays host to Oak Grove. A couple of pretty good high school football programs in the southern part of the state of Mississippi. Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to Bright Lights High School Football, presented by C Spire with Matt Wyatt. I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along, Matt, for what should be a great rivalry game. As rivalries go in the state of Mississippi, they don't get much bigger than this. Packed house. People have been talking about this game for weeks, maybe months leading up to the start. Let's talk about some of the players to watch for. We'll start with the quarterback for Oak Grove. Kirk McCarty, 13 touchdowns, and he's got a pretty good teacher and offensive coordinator, Brett Favre.
Sure does. He's learned well. You see the completion percentage there is going to have him well over 60%. He'll reach 1,000 yards passing on the season tonight. He's a two-sport star and a lefty, and he runs the offense with great efficiency.
You see there on your screen a guy that's going to be busy tonight, Jamarcus Rivas. He is a star wide receiver. He'll play in the secondary, plus work in the special teams game.
Southern Miss commitment will be all over the field in every phase, and especially defensively, look for number one, a physical presence in that secondary.
Rockin', electric, pick your adjective of choice. They cannot wait for the start of this one. It's Oak Grove visiting Petal at C Spire High School Bright Lights Football.
Carney wants to take a shot. He's got a man over. What a catch! Over the shoulder catch and the run afterward. Logan Scott to the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Grove. 61 yards on the pitch and catch between McCarty and Logan Scott. 3rd and 9. McCarty hit as he lets it go, but he completes the pass. What a play! Jonathan McNair tackled at the 3. 44 yards. Jonathan McNair. Big night for him. 99 receiving. And a touchdown here for Oak Grove. On the carry, Donald Winding. And Oak Grove answers the first punch thrown in the second half by Peddle with a touchdown of their own.
Tonight in Hattiesburg, it's life on the road for the Memphis Tigers as Josh Pastner leads his basketball team into Hattiesburg to take on the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles at Reed Green Coliseum. Two pretty good basketball teams, both of them off to good starts this season. Pretty good records. You see the standings, Southern Miss 3-1 right now, 14-3 overall. Memphis off to a pretty good start in conference play as well at 2-1. Welcome, everybody. Alongside Brian Oliver, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along for Conference USA basketball tonight on CSS. I think every time we begin a broadcast, we tell you, we got a good basketball game for you. But tonight, we've really got a good basketball game for you. Two pretty good teams.
Tigers in the blue, but it's the Golden Eagles in the gold jerseys that take the opening tip underway tonight in Hattiesburg. Johnson quickly up, in. And Southern Miss sets the tone right out of the gate. With Brian Oliver, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along tonight. Carmouche gets a screen, dumps it off to Will Coleman for the tomahawk. Oh my! Oh! Horton to shoot 2. First one, no good.
And if you're Memphis, you have to gang rebound this because you've got a small group on here. Big to come up with this rebound if it comes off.
Carmouche and Barham were down low. They got the block out. Barham will throw it in. Southern Miss guards the inbound. Joe Jackson into the front court. Dumps it off. Carmouche for 3. Got it!
Baby!
3/10 of a second remaining. And Memphis, trailing by 2, takes a 1-point lead.
Are you kidding me?
You talk about deadly sharpshooters. How about A.J. Slaughter for Western Kentucky? He has had quite the tournament, including 28 points last night.
Talking to the coaches around the league last night, they used the superlatives money player, crunch time player. He's a gamer. He lived up to all that last night with 28 huge points, 6 assists. He makes big shots, and that's why this Western Kentucky team has a shot at winning this whole thing.
The 3rd time this season that Western Kentucky and Troy have met. They've split the first 2 games. We'll see what happens tonight. Hanging in the balance, a trip to the finals, and possibly a berth in the NCAA tournament. 3 from the corner. No. And Jones comes away with the rebound there. Antoine Jones, the pull-up 3 in transition. Had a career-high 20 against Western Kentucky back in early February, and Troy has an early 7-3 lead. This time, Antoine Jones can't connect from long range. Western Kentucky has struggled. They've hit only 1 out of 8 attempts. It's a 7-3 ball game. Troy leading early on. Pull-up jumper for Carouche on the baseline is good. Sergio Carouche with 5 points. It's a 7-5 lead. He's got all 5 for Western Kentucky.
This is big for him. He had to sit out a big chunk of the season, so getting to play in the conference tournament's got to be exciting for him.
Well, turnaround baby hook won't go for Yamin Coleman, but they kick it out after an offensive rebound, and Hazard's got the 3. Brandon Hazard. Memphis, Tennessee, home of Elvis Presley, rock and roll, and the Memphis Tigers, though they're without Wesley Witherspoon until the middle of January, they've also lost the services of Angel Garcia. He said it's time to go play pro ball in Spain. Josh Pastner, the head coach of the Tigers, has got questions that need to be answered from his young team, and those answers may start tonight against Austin Peay. Tim Corbin and the Vanderbilt Commodores getting set for a little SEC baseball on a rainy Saturday night in Nashville. 12 innings in the rain last night between the Commodores and the Vols. Didn't stop them. Not going to stop us tonight. It's SEC baseball in Music City, USA. stockings that Rusty Inzer loves. The 0-1. This ball laced back up the middle. There's an RBI probably coming up for Harrell. Hitting the bag at third and coming around to score standing is Tony Kemp. Vanderbilt leads it 1-0. 2 strikes. Runners at the corners. Which is blocked. Turner trying to come on. He slides and he is safe. Got under the tag, says Randolph Harvey. And Vanderbilt leads 2-0. Aggressive base running.
How about South Carolina?
Ground ball back through the middle. And it is a 1-out single for Conrad Gregor, his 3rd hit of the night. The 2-0. Fly ball to center field. This one's well hit. Late jump by Bader. It gets over his head. 2 runs going to score for the Commodores. Navin will go into second limping. And the bases are loaded for a pinch hitter. Rice delivers the first pitch. It's a line drive. 1 hopper to the second baseman. To second for 1 to first. Double play. What an incredible heads-up play by the Vanderbilt infield. Through the first month of the college football season, Ole Miss and Alabama have been perfect. Both teams are off to 3-0 starts, with one of those wins for each team coming in SEC play. 2 weeks ago in Austin, the Rebels grabbed a stake of the national media's attention as they rolled into Texas and rolled over the Longhorns with a dominating second-half shutout performance, highlighted once again by Jeff Scott.
Starts to the near side. Side sets a man to the 35, gets around the other one to the 40. Still on his feet, breaks a tackle. He's trying to head to the far sidelines to the 45. He's got the sidelines to the 50. He's got blockers. He's to the 35, the 30. He's to the 20. Carry him into the end zone, boys! Touchdown, Ole Miss!
Alabama notched win number 3 last week against Colorado State in a workmanlike 25-point win over the Rams. But the buzz surrounding the win was nothing like that of a week prior when the Crimson Tide silenced Texas A&M in a game for the ages.
DeAndrew White in motion towards the formation. Quick screen, left side Bell. He's there. He cuts outside the defender. He's going to go. A screen to Kenny Bell. 51 yards. Touchdown for the good guys.
Through the years, as Ole Miss and Alabama have met in football, the games have been traditionally one-sided. The Rebels can claim only 1 win in Tuscaloosa, a 1988 victory that made Sean Sykes forever a household name for Ole Miss fans.
From the 12 yards away from the TD. Mark Young with a split backfield. Inside the side, touchdown!
And so tonight in Tuscaloosa, undefeated teams, who until recently had very little in common, square off in a Western Division battle. Despite Alabama's dominance in the series, tonight's ball game in T-Town has a different feel. Certainly, Alabama is the undisputed king of college football, having won back-to-back and 3 of the last 4 national titles. But the 2013 version of the Crimson Tide has shown small, almost invisible cracks in its seeming invincible facade. A win tonight for Alabama would be just that, another win. More of the same, status quo for the Tide. But a win tonight for Ole Miss would be seismic. It would shake the foundation of the college football empire currently ruled by Red Elephants. Ole Miss is young and confident. Alabama mature and dominant. Tonight, from Bryant-Denny Stadium, deep in the heart of Dixie, something's got to give as undefeated Ole Miss and Alabama meet for the 61st time. Coming up, we get you set for the Rebels and the Tide on the Ole Miss IMG Sports Network.